yet. I really wish that I could title this video, I got out of burnout and you can too, and here's how. Unfortunately for you, and also for me, I am still very much in the middle of my burnout. I originally filmed this video a little bit before New Year's when my mental health was the worst it's been since, I don't know, high school, college. I just really burned out and I basically just couldn't function. I was so unmotivated and didn't feel like doing anything. And one of my friends said that every time she logged onto her computer, she saw that I was playing Stardew Valley. And when I start playing a lot of video games is when you can tell my mental health has completely changed. I have since been able to play less Stardew Valley and do more of the things that help my mental health. Between now and then, I have gone to 2 conventions and hosted another Mythmakers event and also gone to Japan to visit my friend Sel. So none of those things really have helped with the burnout, but getting to see friends that I haven't seen in a while and do some things that reconnect, I guess, with old hobbies like cosplay and journaling and meditating, which is kind of on and off. That one's harder to keep track of. Going for walks, doing more art like scrapbooking, also painting. I guess this is a good time to introduce the sponsor, Craftsy. Craftsy is your online resource for all things creative with instructional videos taught by professional instructors who walk you through each technique with step-by-step demonstrations and expert tips and tricks. I've been trying to incorporate more non-textile arts into my daily life, but because of the burnout, I wanted to do something that feels a little bit more manageable. I found the class Urban Sketching in 15 Minutes by Suma CM. This class really helps streamline the process of sketching and painting so you're capturing the feeling of a scene without needing to draw every single detail, and give some tips on how to fit drawing into small moments of your day. I found that this practice is really helpful for not feeling overwhelmed, but still feeling like I've accomplished doing art in my day. So I'm really grateful that I found this class on Craftsy. Craftsy is always creating new classes to help you stay inspired, like the new watercolor portraits class if you're interested in a more in-depth art practice. You can even connect with fellow makers and DIY lovers to ask questions and share ideas. As a Craftsy member, you have access to Craftsy's live streaming tutorials where expert instructors share tips, answer questions, and engage with the Craftsy community in real time. The first 1,000 of you to click the link in the description will get a full year of premium membership to Craftsy for only $1.49. You can also use the QR code shown on the screen. So thanks to Craftsy for sponsoring this video. The art therapy has definitely been helping. I'm not going to say that everything is all better because it's just really not, but I don't feel so much like I'm void of despair, I guess. The burnout still sucks and it's hard to feel positive a lot of days, especially with like the state of the world and the people who are in power right now. The ability to leave the country for a little bit and take a break kind of like from reality with my friends has really helped clear my head a bit. I debated publishing this because even just editing the video has been difficult. I don't know, it's hard to watch yourself cry and be sad, I guess. And then like watching myself be so sad, I'm like reminded of being sad, and it's hard to not go back into that mindset. Thankfully, I have the power of modern medicine on my side, so that's definitely helping for now. We'll see if we get to keep all of our meds in the coming years. But the general sentiments of the video that I filmed earlier haven't gone away, even if they have lessened in severity. I don't know, I felt very not alone because I have a really good support system, but it just kind of felt like outside of my support system, I didn't feel like I could trust anybody. And if I had gotten some commiseration from people outside of my immediate support network, maybe that would have helped a little bit faster. So I don't know, hopefully this helps somebody else. And if it does, then it's worth the embarrassment of crying on the internet. Things have been really hard lately. Yesterday I was trying to come up with goals for the new year for like 2025. There's this trend going around that's a bingo sheet for your goals rather than just making yourself a bunch of New Year's resolutions, because gamifying things makes you more likely to actually complete them. So I was trying to come up with goals for the next year. 24 goals is a lot. So that in itself was difficult. But when I was trying to come up with goals, I just couldn't really think of much that I wanted to do. This year I did so many things. I don't feel like I really accomplished all that much personally. I guess we put on some Mythmakers events, so that's an accomplishment. And I did hit 50K on here, so thanks guys for watching my videos. But the main thing this year was that I really burnt myself out, and I don't feel like I have the energy to complete a lot of goals. Having the motivation to do anything has been hard. Especially after the election, I kind of just felt so defeated and helpless. And then lots of stuff outside of the country started happening, like South Korea declaring martial law, and then that quickly getting overturned. So that was good. The Japanese politician that said that women over 18 shouldn't be able to go to university, and that women over 30 who didn't have children should be sterilized, basically. And obviously he was also shut down, so like that's good. But the fact that people are so emboldened to think that these things are okay, it made it feel like there was no good place to be. So that, on top of just being really burnt out from this past fall, which I had so much fun this fall. I spent so much time with my friends. I went to Ren Fair a lot. I got to go to conventions with friends. I feel very fulfilled in the friend department. So I guess that was a goal from a couple years ago that I moved to a new city and I didn't have any friends, and I have made friends, and so that I guess is a goal that I've accomplished, just making friends, which feels kind of sad. But I got to spend so much time with friends and doing fun things this past fall that I didn't really realize how burnt out I was getting. I don't know, I think my breaking point was I uploaded a vlog and it did really poorly, and it just felt so bad. This was maybe a week or two after the election, and all of those things just compounded, and I was very seriously considering just quitting social media and quitting YouTube and just disappearing from the internet, I guess. And since then I've just kind of been trying to like claw myself out of that pit of despair, which has not been easy. I also realized that this, I don't know, TMI, the day that I felt so bad was a day before my period. I've now realized that my PMDD is much worse than I had thought. It's the worst I felt in decades, and it was really scary, for one. I just don't, obviously nobody wants to feel like that. I think it's a lot of factors, just the helplessness from the election results, and the future of this country and the world is number one. Two is the burnout. I think that if I hadn't been so burned out, if the election had gone a different way, then I could probably cope with the PMDD. But I think those three factors all combined just have made it so the way that I am doing life right now is unsustainable, which sucks. I don't want this video to sound like I'm complaining. I'm obviously in a very privileged position where I get to do this cool stuff for my job. I'm really lucky to have the support of my partner Micah and my family. Most people don't get to make art as their job, and I love doing it when I am not feeling like garbage constantly. So I want to be able to keep doing it. I just need to shift how I'm doing it. Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like that's kind of how I got into this problem, into the burnout, is because like I've never treated content creation as like similar to the more traditional 9-to-5 jobs that I've had. All of those jobs, I felt like I had a really good separation of this is work and this is home. Doing YouTube and Instagram and everything for a job just feels like it shouldn't feel like a job. And so I have been really bad about taking breaks and giving myself space to do other things So I've come up with a plan for hopefully fixing this. Maybe. I don't know really how to fix burnout. I got through the first burnout and then just threw myself right back into it. So I'm not an expert, obviously, at fixing this kind of thing. Is anybody? Maybe. But my plan, I am trying to come up with hobbies. I'm trying to do hobbies that have nothing to do with social media, have nothing to do with sewing, anything that I have like previously monetized. So I've been playing a lot of Stardew Valley. I've started playing Pokemon again. Video games are a big one, and I know that like you look on the internet and they're like what to do in your spare time. Video games is not one usually. They're like, don't get addicted to video games, but I don't play video games generally. I've never considered video games something that I have enough time in my life to, because I always feel like I need to be multitasking. So I thought that was actually a really good one for me. Hopefully it would make me focus on just one thing. I think it's been doing a better job of like making me really focus on one thing at a time than pretty much anything else I've done. Video games, good, bad, who knows, but it's working for me so far. I've also been scrapbooking more and trying to draw more. Found a really big master list of hobbies on Reddit, and then they're all linked to the different subreddits that have supporting information on them. So I'll put that master list down in the description, but I started with that list and then I just made my own list of hobbies from that list that I'm remotely interested in. And then I've crossed out everything that costs money, like things that I don't already have supplies for. So because I've taken so many art classes through grad school, through college, I have all the supplies for drawing, I have all the supplies for painting. So whereas those would normally cost a lot of money, for me they are essentially free because I already have everything for it. Whereas something like sculpture, I do not have any of the supplies for that. I would have to purchase all of that. So that's off the list. Anything that I have to buy a lot of things for, like bookbinding, unfortunately, I really want to get into bookbinding, but it costs a lot of money to get the supplies. So those are off the list for now. That is part of the plan, is to do more hobbies, try to get my brain working in a way that has nothing to do with video editing or sewing, needle, textile crafts, I guess, because crocheting and knitting are also off the list, too similar to sewing. Another part is to say no to more things. All of my friends are amazing artists. They all do really cool stuff. I feel like I'm constantly bombarded with so many cool ideas and I want to do all of them, but I physically cannot do all of them, and I've been trying to do all of them. I've been saying yes to pretty much everything I can physically agree to. So if my body can be there at that time, I've been saying yes to it for the past couple of years. And my New Year's resolution in 2022, when we did first move here, was to say yes to everything, to say yes to things that put me out of my comfort zone. 2023 and 2024 continued those, just continued to say yes to everything. Didn't want to feel the FOMO, and I wanted to be able to do all the things. And it's been too much. So 2025 is the opposite. We're saying no to almost everything. I have a few projects that I've already agreed to, but other than that, it's a no. With the saying no to things, that also includes like friend things, any large group gatherings with people that I don't know super well, I'm gonna start saying no to. I really wanted to make lots of friends and I did, and now I've made friends, and like I don't know, I don't want to be like, I've made all my friends, I don't need any more, bye to everyone else, because like I love meeting you guys, I love meeting new people. It is a little bit stressful for me. I am so much of an introvert, which people seem to be deceived that I am an extrovert. I'm really not. I like to be alone like 90% of the time. But with saying no to large group gatherings and to friend things, my existing friendships, I do want to like depth rather than breadth, I guess, of friendships. Like the friends that I already have, I would love to develop better, closer friendships with and really give them the quality time that they deserve, because I don't know, when I'm spread so thin, the quality time is really not very quality. I'm like half present, I feel like, and I would like to really be present for the friends that I want to continue being friends with. I feel like the last time that I felt really on top of everything that I had to do was in grad school and then in college. Like grad school was kind of a living hell. 3 years of costume grad school, and I'm sure every grad school experience is equally taxing, but I was taking full-time classes, and then we also had to work for all of the productions, and then I was also working part-time at a costume studio and just doing all these things, and it was so much, and I was able to stay on top of it. It sucked to do so. I lost some sleep, but I still was able to do it. I was thinking that maybe the school structure is what really worked for me, like having homework, having designated times to like be in class, and having really like strict deadlines of like, this is when this thing is due. So I've decided to make myself a little class schedule. I have put some things on there. I want to improve my cinematography skills. I'm not really super happy with a lot of the content that I put out, just because it feels rushed to me. It doesn't feel as clean or like creative even. I took a look at my class schedules from when I was in college and tried to kind of emulate that. So then I've also added things that are like more work time, but I've scheduled them in as though they were like actual classes. So that's the plan right now. If you want to see a video on me trying to fix my life, then let me know. I'm not going to entirely stop doing sewing videos. I feel like I say this every time I kind of have some mental health things going on. I'm getting burnt out on the sewing videos generally. Burnout from burnout is that like I want to stop doing sewing videos, but I don't want to entirely stop doing sewing videos because sewing is a really big part of my life, and I love sewing when I'm not feeling like this. Everything is like, I like doing this thing, except right now. Because I really need to just slow my life down and try to heal my brain a little bit, get myself out of this burnout, build back up tolerance to life, I guess. I'm gonna be trying to do things a lot slower, fewer events, fewer sewing projects, so those things will not disappear entirely. I will still always be doing those because I like to do them. It's not Ren Fair season right now, so no Ren Fair for a little bit. I will be going back to Ren Fair, but in the meantime, I'm gonna be focusing a lot more on kind of everyday life and how I'm trying to fix my mental health and how I'm trying to make existing easier. So be a little bit more slice of life style, I guess, a little more mundane, everyday kind of things. So we'll see more of Micah. We'll definitely see more of the cats. I know that a lot of people still follow me exclusively for sewing videos. If you are disappointed by the decrease in sewing videos, I have friends linked in the description who do focus more on sewing, so you can check them out. If you started for sewing but you still want to stick around for fixing my brain, I don't know, maybe it'll help you too if you're in the same mental state, then stick around. Yeah, and I'm really grateful for everybody who does watch my videos. I know I've mentioned in my most recent videos that I haven't been looking at comments. I have kind of been glancing at comments like once every couple weeks, and I really appreciate everybody who is saying nice things, and I appreciate that you guys are all here and that you watch my videos. Otherwise, I'd just kind of be talking into the void, which I may very well be doing right now anyways, so yeah. I feel so silly making this video. Like, I just, you know that Facebook group that's like, this isn't an airport, you don't need to announce your departure? That's what I feel like right now. It's like, do I really need to be making this whole video telling you guys what I'm gonna be doing with my life? But I feel like also, if I'm gonna be making such a drastic shift, I should say something. And also, like, if it's not just my followers watching this, then do you all need the explanation? Probably not. But then on the other hand, it's like, is anyone actually gonna watch? That's probably not. It's just all goes through my head constantly. It's a constant circle. It's very hard to be in my brain right now. I just want things to not suck again. I would like things to be at least marginally easier. I want to want to do things again. I was ultimately able to come up with a list of 27 goals, so surpassed my expectations. I feel like most of them can kind of be summarized by make money. So much stress in life would be solved by not having financial stress, and I feel like that's the case for most people. yeah, but the ones that I thought of for myself, I used to really want to be sponsored by like luxury brands like Dior, Chanel, all the things that like the cute Asian girly vloggers who live in Korea or New York or whatever get sponsored by. The sponsors that I would get are more creative or fantasy clothing or like that kind of stuff, which I love working with them. It just is very much not what I was originally aiming for. And I spent a lot of time thinking about like, okay, so how do I pivot so that I can get those luxury fashion or makeup sponsors? But I was rethinking it and I realized that I'm not really that interested in having sponsors from like luxury brands anymore. Like I'm not gonna say no if they want to sponsor me, but they're not really my goal anymore. I have been watching a lot more like cinematic style vloggers like Lynn Trong or Life of Riza or even Darling Desi, I feel like kind of counts. But like they're working with like Sony or B&H or Epidemic Sound, and those I think are more in line with what I want to accomplish. So I did add work with Sony to my goals list. So I did end up being able to think of a goal. So we got there eventually. And then hopefully everything else will just kind of work out as well. That's not how that works. I used to journal and meditate every single day. I stopped doing a lot of it, and it's probably why I feel so shitty. So I don't know, it's a lot of work. So I'm gonna be doing those things again also. Okay, well, that's about all of this that I can handle right now, so I'm gonna go. Hopefully all of the things that I talked about actually help. This channel is going to still be some sewing, still be some big events, but is gonna, at least for the time being, focus on just like daily life and trying to fix my mental health, and hopefully it's helpful for somebody else too, and if not, at least entertaining. Yeah, so I don't know, if you are sticking around, thanks. I really appreciate you, and I appreciate everybody who's been here throughout the YouTube journey. Obviously I would not be able to make these videos at all without you, so thanks. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.